David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney+. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney+ every night.
Tonight, new developments on two major stories. The dangerous winter storm with nearly 200 million Americans in its grip, sprawling from New Mexico to New England, and the mounting outrage after federal agents shot and killed another American citizen in Minneapolis. We begin with that powerful storm spanning 2,000 miles. At least 20 states declaring states of emergency, some buried under a foot of snow. Drivers are being urged to stay off the roads as trucks spin out on frozen highways. Janai Norman reports from Boston. Power lines and trees snap under all that ice. More than 1 million customers are without electricity in the south, and tornado warnings in Georgia. Morgan Norwood is in Dallas, where drivers were left stranded on a freeway after leaving an NBA game at the height of the storm. Snowplows fill the streets of America's largest city. Whit Johnson reports from here in New York, where at least 5 people have died in the cold. And there's major concern over the ride to work on Monday. More than 10,000 flights canceled just today. Gio Benitez on when air traffic will recover. And no relief in the forecast. Our weather team on what comes next. Escalating tensions in Minneapolis after the second shooting death at an ICE protest. Trevor Ault reports the Trump administration initially called the victim Alex Preddy a domestic terrorist who intended to attack law enforcement. Aaron Katersky on the videos that appear to contradict that assertion. Police say Preddy had a gun, but an agent is seen on video apparently removing it before multiple shots were fired. President Trump says the Minneapolis protests are just a cover-up for financial fraud in Minneapolis. Tonight, several top Republicans have joined the call for an independent investigation, and we're learning more about Preddy, an ICU nurse at a VA hospital. Also tonight, wild video shows robbery suspects busting into a jewelry store, scooping up jewels, and then fleeing by car. A police chase ends with 2 serious crashes and multiple arrests. And a climber who reached new heights, scaling one of the tallest buildings in the world without ropes or a safety net.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Lindsay Davis. Protests and heartbreak in Minneapolis after another deadly shooting of an American citizen by federal agents. Videos appear to contradict statements made by the Trump administration, which claims the shots were fired defensively. This is sparking calls from the Minneapolis mayor and other officials for immigration agents to leave the city immediately.
How many more residents? How many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end?
But we do begin with that massive and deadly winter storm. More than 200 million Americans are facing heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain, and dangerously cold air. The storm is causing unprecedented travel disruptions. More than 11,000 flights were canceled today alone. In this Kentucky neighborhood, freezing rain is coating roads with sheets of ice. And across the South, more than 1 million Americans are without power. And this was a scene of a pileup after a crash on a Missouri State highway. A truck on top of a car. We'll have more on Minneapolis in a moment, and Lee Goldberg is standing by with the forecast. But first, ABC's Janai Norman leads us off from Boston, a city that could get more than 20 inches of snow. Janai.
Lindsay, it is a nasty storm. We are here in Boston along the northern edge of this nearly 2,000-mile-long monster storm. The wind is blowing. This snow is still coming down, and it is forecast, Lindsay, to continue falling through tomorrow morning.
Tonight, a colossal winter storm stretching from New Mexico to Maine, bringing heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain. More than 200 million people impacted by the monster storm and frigid temperatures. At least 20 governors declaring a state of emergency.
We're New Englanders. We're tough, right? I mean, we're used to snow. We're used to ice. We weather it all. Visibility is going to be terrible. So stay off the roads.
More than 11,000 flights canceled today, already 2,000 for tomorrow. Washington's Reagan National reporting airlines canceled all today's scheduled flights. The historic winter storm wreaking havoc on highways. Icy roads causing multiple semi-trucks to jackknife off roads in Mississippi. This delivery truck careening into the median on Interstate 22. The freezing temperatures coating power lines in thick ice. More than 1 million customers without power across the South. Our Victor Oquendo in Nashville.
This is the James Robertson Parkway, a main thoroughfare in Nashville. These trees that line the parkway, frozen. All of this ice weighing down these limbs, bringing them crashing onto the road.
Up and down the East Coast, an urgent effort is underway on millions of miles of roadways. Our Alex Perche is in Virginia.
Here in Virginia, we have seen emergency crews like this working around the clock to keep these roads clean. The Virginia Department of Transportation says they have 129,000 miles of road to deal with.
In the Northeast, Boston and parts of New England bracing for close to 2 feet of snow. Philadelphia and New York getting more snow than they've seen in several years. Some areas seeing that snow now turning to sleet. Winds in New York City gusting over 30 miles per hour at times. More than 2,500 city sanitation workers working around the clock to clear the streets. Mayor Mamdani telling New Yorkers to stay home and offering his deepest condolences to the families of the 5 people found dead outside. Mamdani saying their deaths are being investigated.
And Lindsay, here in Boston, these snowdrifts already piling up as the storm is intensifying. Snow is forecast to fall about 3 inches per hour, Lindsay, through the night here.
Serious snowfall. Janai, thank you. And now to New York City, where the mayor is urging residents to stay inside and off the roads. Plunging temperatures may have caused at least 5 deaths in the city so far. Let's get right to ABC's Whit Johnson. Whit, give us a sense of what's happening here tonight.
Yes, Lindsay, well, as you can see, the snow is piling up, accumulating more than 8 inches already across New York City. At the peak of the storm, it was falling at a rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Sanitation officials tell me that every single block across New York City has already been plowed at least once. Still, it's difficult to keep up. More than 2,000 snowplows working around the clock to clear the streets before the snow turns to slush and then ice overnight. And as officials investigate those reported deaths in New York City, Mayor Mamdani urging New Yorkers to continue to call 911 if they see someone out in the cold who may need help. Most schools across New York tomorrow are either closed or switching to remote learning. And again, officials urging people to stay home, stay off the roads to allow crews to do their work. Lindsay?
Hopefully people can heed that advice. Whit, thank you. And let's get right to WABC's chief meteorologist, Lee Goldberg. Lee, so glad you're with us tonight. How long will this ice and snow last?
Well, we're trying to clean that up right now, Lindsay, on cue. We still have to get rid of this in the Mid-Atlantic and the Southeast. Going to go all night into parts of the Northeast. You can see it stretching from the Northeast all the way down into the Gulf Coast. And not only do we have snow and sleet and freezing rain, we have severe weather. Tornado watches up across parts of Georgia and into parts of the Florida Panhandle through the early evening hours. Now, in terms of the timing, we're going to leave the freezing rain off of the Mid-Atlantic coast by evening. It's going to be winding down in New York City, leftover light snows, but it's going much of the night upstate New York and in New England. So for additional snowfall totals, we might put down a couple of inches in New York City, but it's mostly I-90 and especially eastern New England, where we could put down more than a foot of snow. Incredible snows, a long-term cleanup. Also enhanced by the extreme chill. It's border to border tomorrow. We've got sub-zero temperatures. Des Moines, down to Dallas, up to Detroit. We are locked into this Arctic chill for days to come, even into early February. Lindsay?
So still in the thick of it, Lee, thank you. And next tonight, Minnesota is on edge yet again after the fatal shooting of an ICU nurse by immigration agents. The community gathered in Minneapolis early today for a vigil to honor Alex Preddy. A friend and mentor is describing the 37-year-old Preddy as a good citizen whose life was just starting. ABC's Trevor Ault is on the scene in Minneapolis again tonight, and we do want to warn you that some viewers may find the videos disturbing.
Tonight, heartbreak and outrage in Minneapolis after another person was shot and killed by federal agents.
How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end?
Police identifying the man shot as 37-year-old Alex Preddy, an American citizen and Minneapolis native who worked as an ICU nurse for the Department of Veterans Affairs, seen here reading the final salute for a fallen veteran.
Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it.
Local authorities say Preddy was a lawful gun owner with a license to carry and no criminal record. Video from the scene Saturday morning shows Preddy trying to help a woman who had been surrounded by agents. He appears to be holding a phone before he's shoved by a federal officer, pepper sprayed, and pulled into the street. 3 officers appear to grapple with Preddy. One agent appears to repeatedly hit him. One agent appears to draw a handgun, and another agent appears to remove a gun from Preddy's waistband. Graphic video then shows an officer firing as Preddy is on the ground. The officer's backing away and continuing to fire.
What did you just do?
An independent audio analysis found 10 shots were fired in less than 5 seconds. A doctor who says they treated Preddy at the scene, saying in an affidavit the victim had at least 3 bullet wounds in his back, an additional gunshot wound on the victim's upper left chest, and another possible gunshot wound on his neck.
We believe that Donald Trump needs to pull these 3,000 untrained agents out of Minnesota before they kill another person.
Border Patrol officials said the shooting happened while they were conducting a targeted operation for a person in the country illegally. They claim Preddy approached Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun seen here, along with 2 magazines, and said agents attempted to disarm him, but he violently resisted.
When someone makes the choice to come into an active law enforcement scene, interfere, obstruct, delay, or assault law enforcement officers, and they bring a weapon to do that, that is a choice that individual made.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem insists the agent fired defensive shots.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
So far, they provided no evidence supporting those claims. And in the video of the shooting, Preddy does not appear to draw his weapon at any point. The state of Minnesota is now vowing a full investigation.
Thank God we have video, because according to DHS, these 7 heroic guys took an onslaught of a battalion against them or something. It's nonsense, people.
Overnight, the Minneapolis community coming together in a candlelight vigil, continuing to protest.
There's been demonstrators out here since this shooting first happened, sometimes thousands at a time. The fires are to stay warm in the sub-zero temperatures. And we know there's been protests happening every day in Minneapolis since Renee Good was shot 2.5 weeks ago.
Preddy's parents saying their son was a kind-hearted soul who wanted to make a difference in the world, and telling the Associated Press they had spoken with him about the ongoing protests.
He cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE.
He loved this country, but he hated what people were doing to it.
And Lindsay, Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Vivino says all of the agents involved in this shooting are still working, but they have been moved out of Minneapolis. He says DHS is going to investigate the shooting, but he repeatedly defended the agents, saying they had to make a split-second decision. Lindsay?
Trevor, thank you. There are growing calls for an independent investigation into that fatal shooting. Let's get right to ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky. Aaron, what are you learning tonight?
The Department of Homeland Security's own use of force policy, Lindsay, does dictate how videos capturing the shooting could be analyzed frame by frame in an investigation. First, a federal officer must have a reasonable belief the suspect poses an imminent threat. Here, in a video obtained by DropSite News, we see Alex Preddy holding a phone at a distance from the immigration enforcement officers. The department's policy says a federal officer may fire only with the intent of preventing or stopping the threatening behavior. Video shows Preddy was pinned to the ground, and it appears an agent emerged from the scrum with a gun that seems to match the one Preddy was carrying 1 second before the first shot was fired. The use of force policy also says the shooting should stop once the threat is neutralized. Even gripping or pointing a gun alone does not justify a federal officer firing his gun. But Lindsay, within 5 seconds, Preddy was shot 9 more times.
So what can we expect to happen at this point?
The Department of Homeland Security says it is leading the investigation with support from the FBI. But the Trump administration declared almost immediately the shooting was justified. A federal judge in Minnesota has issued an emergency order barring federal officials from destroying evidence. Local leaders want any evidence turned over to them. But at this point, Lindsay, it's not clear who, if anyone, will be held accountable.
A lot more to this story, Aaron. Thank you so much. The White House is labeling Alex Preddy as a, quote, would-be assassin and blaming Democrats for siding with, quote, terrorists. Let's bring in ABC's senior White House correspondent Selina Wang now. Selina, what is President Trump saying tonight?
Well, the president is digging in, Lindsay. He's continuing to make a series of unsubstantiated claims, now blaming local officials for the deadly shooting, as top White House officials are claiming without providing evidence that Preddy was a domestic terrorist. But even a growing number of Republican lawmakers are now joining Democrats, calling for an independent investigation. Senate Democrats are threatening as well to block a funding bill needed to avoid a government shutdown this Friday unless funding for ICE is stripped out of it. So this is now the third shooting involving federal agents in Minneapolis in less than 3 weeks. And in each case, we have seen the Trump administration rush to claim that the agent was under threat, to say that the shooting was justified before an investigation was even complete. Lindsay?
Selina, thank you. And there's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, including the latest on all those flight cancellations. When will air travel get back to normal? And up he went to the top of one of the world's tallest skyscrapers without any safety equipment. This could be a long night for a lot of people in the South. More than 1 million customers are in the dark tonight. It can be blamed in part on the freezing rain. It caused power lines to snap and turn highways in Tennessee into sheets of ice. In Mississippi, several trucks jackknifed and crashed on slippery roads. ABC's Morgan Norwood is monitoring conditions from Dallas.
Millions are feeling the bitter cold across the South tonight as a growing number of customers are without power. Here in Texas, where at least 70,000 customers are in the dark, wind chills in parts of the state in single digits or below zero. And despite Governor Greg Abbott's assurances that the Texas power grid will hold, ERCOT, who handles the state's electricity, now issuing a weather watch through Tuesday, citing the extreme cold and spiking demand.
You don't have electricity, and it can be a mess.
Highways coated with layers of ice. Drivers in Dallas along the Woodall-Rogers Freeway stranded after the Lakers-Mavericks game. North of Dallas, a 14-inch water main bursting, flooding streets and forcing officials to shut off water to homes. The dangerous driving conditions stretching some 2,000 miles. Cars littered on this highway in Missouri. And in Nashville, branches bowing under the ice, then breaking apart. One crashing into the side of this home.
I just heard the neighbor's tree. I heard it cracking, and I was in my bedroom, and I thought, oh, that sounds like my house. And I came out, and it wasn't my carport or my car, it was this tree.
Ice turning this telephone pole into dead weight. More than 300,000 customers in Tennessee without power. In North Carolina,
got my shovel, got my power bank.
Roads turning into ice. Our station WTVD is there.
This is a perfect example of how this wintry mix has coated the city streets and also the Durham Freeway and the highway. It's all painted white.
From the National Guard moving vehicles out of the snow in Arkansas to Mississippi crews clearing the streets, the message from officials is clear: stay off the roads.
And Lindsay, with roads still treacherous here in Dallas tonight, it could be hours, even days, before power crews can safely get the lights back on. Lindsay?
Morgan, thank you. And from that mess on the roads to an even bigger mess at the nation's airports, ABC's Gio Benitez is at New York's JFK Airport. Gio, this will likely have a ripple effect for days.
Oh, absolutely, Lindsay. Just about every flight in the Northeast is canceled right now. Take a look at JFK behind me. There is so much snow. Obviously, it is at a standstill right now. But the numbers, they are simply stunning. Right now, we're looking at more than 11,000 cancellations across the country today. The numbers, they're growing for tomorrow as well. More than 2,400 already canceled for Monday. And just to paint a picture here, for American Airlines alone, more than half of all of their flights across the country are canceled right now. This is really going to be a huge test for the airlines on how they recover from this in the coming days. It could be a while before everything gets back to normal because, again, this could all trigger a domino effect for days, Lindsay.
Gio, thank you. When we come back, it seemed like the perfect robbery until police say it came to a violent end. To the index now, and video of a violent jewel heist in Southern California. Watch as a car smashes into the store in Anaheim Hills on Friday. Multiple people are seen smashing cases and grabbing jewelry. Police say 2 getaway cars sped off, but both crashed into other vehicles. 7 arrests were made. We'll be right back. Finally, an American climber reached new heights today, not on top of a mountain, but one of the world's tallest skyscrapers. Taipei 101 is 1,600 feet tall. Alex Honnold climbed it without ropes or a safety net in just 90 minutes. He says he hopes his climb will inspire others to chase their goals. I'm Lindsay Davis. Good night and stay safe.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir the #1 newscast in America.